Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. Today is December the 5th. Bunch of games in the NBA for today, so we're going to jump right into it. As far as yesterday goes, 1 and 2 day for myself. We did cash on Keontae George, my favorite player today. Maybe should have just stayed with that one. Maybe should have added some too, but Keontae George over 6.5 assists was an easy winner. And then the loser was Anthony Edwards, who looks so disengaged, man. Man, dude had, I think, the second fewest shot attempts in the first half for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I thought that Ant really wanted to go after that streak of getting 30-plus for 6 straight times. He didn't. He said he should have had 50 the game before, but he wasn't interested in scoring the basketball last night. So that ended up being a loser. The other loser was the Philadelphia 76ers and the Golden State Warriors over the 222.5, which in retrospect, I still think was a great bet. I just didn't expect the Warriors to come out and score 10 points in the first quarter. That'll kill you over real quick. But you know, the crazy thing is when I bet a under, everything goes over. And if I bet a over, everything goes under. The other two plays, the trend that I shared with the members yesterday was actually on the other two games as well. And I didn't play it on either one of them. And we talked about it yesterday. Lakers in Toronto over the total was an easy one yesterday. And then I forgot what the other game was, but it was another game that it fit the bill for as well. And that game also went over last night. So hopefully you guys found some ways to make some money yesterday. I did not, man. Just did not. What up, Free Sauce? Appreciate you for being here as always. He said Nets team total under 113 was easy like Sunday morning. Yeah, especially with no Port J. That's MPJ. That's a fact. Good morning, Brian. What's up, Justin? Appreciate you for tapping in. Lakers money line. Calling my name, but we need to know if JB is still sick. I don't think he was ever sick, but we shall see. What up? I don't appreciate you for tapping in. That's a fact. That is a fact. Use the money baller. It's definitely gonna help you. I don't even know who you're talking to, but yeah, it's definitely gonna help. Let's jump into it for today, man. So yesterday, I can't even remember. What did JaXon give out yesterday? Let me see if I can find it. I don't even know what I shared. Y'all let me know if y'all remember what JaXon gave out yesterday. I feel like I've been using JaXon for so much, not even just for NBA, but most of the time I just like literally don't write it down because it's always just like in my history. But then when I got to go through my history, it's a lot here. So I'm not sure what JaXon actually liked yesterday, if I'm being completely honest. Not sure what JaXon liked yesterday. Hopefully it was some winners. I'll just say that. There was a lot of things that JaXon liked yesterday. I remember telling you guys that, but I'm not sure exactly what it was. Spread bet, I see Minnesota minus the 11.5, which I think they finished like right on the number yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check real quick. Like LeBron 10 points, it didn't cash. That's a fact. Minnesota won by 11. It says the line yesterday was, at least when JaXon gave it out, was 11.5. So that would have been a loser. They won by 9. So that would have been a loser. And then let's see, what was the other one? I don't remember what the other one was, but we shall move forward today. Looking at the prompt for today, I kind of wanted to switch it up and get it off sides. So I asked JaXon about totals. 2 best NBA totals for today. First one is the Philadelphia 76ers and the Milwaukee Bucks under the 222.5. It says I'm locking in the under 222.5 for the Philadelphia 76ers and Milwaukee Bucks game. This pick is driven by a massive situational factor for the Bucks missing their primary offensive engine, which severely limits their scoring ceiling. So Bucks offense already middle of the road, ranking 15th in offensive rating, 15th in points per 100 possessions. Without their superstar, their ability to generate efficient offense drops drastically. 76ers played a tough, low-scoring game last night, 99-98. Don't remind me, over the Warriors. Playing on tired legs often leads to a slower pace and lower shooting percentages, which favors the under. Pace should be neutral. It says both teams play at a relatively slow pace. Milwaukee 24th in pace, Philly 18th in pace. This neutral pace prevents the game from generating the high volume of possessions needed to push the total up and over the 222.5. So that's the first look. And then there's also some, missing stars. Giannis 76ers back-to-back. Like, it's a fatigue. Like, it talks about some more. The next one is the Denver Nuggets and the Atlanta Hawks over the 237.5. So it says here that we have Nuggets offensive dominance. They boast the best offensive rating in the league at 124.2, the best as far as points per possession with 126. They're the most efficient scoring team in the NBA. The Hawks pace in transition. So Atlanta plays at a fast pace, ranked ninth, 101.84 possessions per game, which is elite in transition. Ranking second in transition efficiency, 135.9. The high pace will generate the volume of possessions needed for Denver's offense to thrive. So then there's defensive vulnerabilities. The Atlanta defense is decent. They rank ninth in defensive rating. They're facing a team that is simply too efficient to contain. The news suggests that the Hawks, quote, simply have no answer for Jokic here. I don't know where that came from, but that was a direct quote from somewhere. Then there's star power, Jamal Murray going off of 52 points last game. Hawks motivation. They lost the game against the Clippers in the last one. Blah, 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 blah. And then the conclusion. And that's just a couple looks from JaXon for today. Link is in the description if you guys are interested in checking it out, as always. Let's jump into the game. So first one up, we got the Lakers and the Celtics. Not gonna lie to you guys. Somebody asked me about about my son playing basketball, and I told him that we had practice last night. So I had already handicapped most of the games last night, yesterday before practice even started. But these no lines were available when I got back from practice last night. The lines still weren't available for today's game, and I fell asleep like 11 something, and I feel like it still wasn't lines available for these games. So I wanted to get to a couple of these spots early today. I did not. Because when I woke up this morning, lines were out. They had already moved already. So I feel like I kind of got screwed. I hate getting the worst at the number on some of these games, but everybody's listed as questionable as well. So you got to kind of handicap the games, know what you want to take based on who's going to be in and who's going to be out. So let's start with the first one. We got the Lakers and the Celtics. Game be played in Boston, of course. Lakers, of course, can submit their injury report late because they did play yesterday. The Celtics, of course, can also list their injury report late because they also played yesterday. So Lakers traveling from Toronto, of course, very emotional win last night with Rui Hachimura hitting a game winner from LeBron. And Luka was out yesterday because of the birth of his daughter. So does he play in this game? We really have no idea, right? No idea if Luka's going to catch a flight. I don't know if it's snowing on the West Coast, but it's snowing here on the East Coast. So I'm not sure if Luka will be in or not. The Lakers could also choose to rest LeBron on the second leg of a back-to-back. We haven't seen him play too many back-to-backs. Marcus Smart was also listed as out yesterday, and then Jaylen Brown, of course, missed the game as well. So, as far as knowing what to do with the game, who knows, right? We saw the line open for Toronto. The Lakers were laying 4 points, and then Luka gets ruled out. Lakers all of a sudden are getting 2.5 points, and they win the game outright yesterday. And it didn't surprise me at all, which is why I didn't bet on Toronto yesterday. Boston needs Jaylen Brown, especially if they're going to be laying this big of a number. So the books are kind of anticipating him to play. This is the second leg of a back-to-back, fourth game in 6 nights for the Lakers. And the Celtics are in a terrible spot. They're playing fifth game in 7 nights. Not a spot where I'm going to be laying too many points with that team in general anyway. And they had to travel back from D.C. Now, granted, that win was really easy yesterday. Derek White looked like Michael Jordan. Combination of him and Steph Curry last night. Really just got whatever it is that he wanted. So you don't have, necessarily a lot of taxing from that game. They blew the doors off the Washington Wizards last night, but you still got the travel. So if I'm playing a game, and I think that everybody's going to play, I'm definitely taking the over 225. I feel like that's the consensus play. And I'm not laying this big of a number, especially if Luka comes back. We don't know if Luka's going to come back or not. And I'm in my opinion, the books are shading this like LeBron isn't going to play on the second leg of a back-to-back. So we got to I don't know. We gotta take that with a grain of salt. And let's see what you guys are thinking here. So I guess if I'm playing over, but that's just my thought process. What's up, Adam? He says another great night. Let's keep it rolling. Pelicans was a winner. They did cover last night. Laces, we'll talk about that in a second. What up, Philip? Appreciate you for tapping in. They're absolute worst, man. I tweeted about it yesterday. It's terrible, man. Good morning, dude. Brian says ESPN has Jaylen Brown listed as out for tonight. That's because they played yesterday. So real quick, if you guys are new to sports betting, even if you're not new, because it took me a while to realize this as well. If a player misses the previous game and they were playing on the first leg of a back-to-back, they're automatically going to be listed as out, especially if the coach didn't say anything about the player being upgraded in the following game, which the coach not going to give you that information the day before. So if they asked Joe Mazzulla last night if Jaylen Brown was going to play tonight, he's not giving up that information. Like, he's not going to tell you that. Like, he's going to say, we'll see how he feels as we get closer to game time, which is why everybody's listed as questionable. So that's something to take into consideration, right? If you go back and look at it, if you can go find some injury reports from the past, you'll see that trend is that's just always how things go. If you're listed as out on the first leg of the back-to-back, you're going to be listed as out on the second leg of the back-to-back as well. Like if the Brooklyn Nets played tonight, they would have Michael Porter Jr. listed as out. So just something for you guys to kind of pick up on, put it in your back pocket. Jaylen Brown over his points. What up, Malik? He says, let's have a payday Friday, chat. Yeah, we need one. Dude says he definitely liked Brown over his points. If he plays tonight, he's been getting busy. Jaylen Brown's been getting busy, and he'll be the freshest out there as well. So, and we can't, hold on, we got to go back. We can't not talk about the Lakers and talk about Austin Reeves, especially if Bron. I don't think Austin Reeves gonna be out there by himself, but no Bron and no Luka. But I mean, who knows? I'm speculating. Austin Reeves been going bananas. 40 points, 10 assists in the 4 games, I think it was, without Luka so far. He's still super young. Why can't he do it again? I don't trust Boston defensively like that. I just know Boston gonna score a lot of points, which is why I lean over. All right, now let's get to the next one. So Portland and Detroit. Game be played in Detroit. Injury report for this one is significant as well. At least in my opinion, is significant. So Portland is potentially could be without Klingon. He's listed as questionable. He did play in that game 2 nights ago in Toronto. Chris Murray's listed as questionable. Robert Williams listed as questionable. No Scoot Henderson, no Drew Holiday, no Matisse Thybulle, and then Wesley continues to be out as well. On the Detroit side of things, they will be fully healthy outside of Duncan Robinson, who is listed as questionable. So for Portland, this is 3rd game in 4 nights, 4th game in 6 nights. They're coming off the win as a dog against the Cleveland Cavaliers. They want to beat them outright as a double-digit dog. For whatever reason, Portland just always gets up for a second leg of a back-to-back. The only team I know that plays better, if they could play every game on the second leg of a back-to-back, they'd probably be a 4 seed in the Western Conference. And then on the Detroit side of things, they're coming off a pretty terrible loss against the Milwaukee Bucks in the game that Giannis got hurt. This is the first leg of a back-to-back. They got quick revenge tomorrow against the Bucks without Giannis, and that game will be at home. So front end of a home back-to-back. I like points in this game, man. So yesterday I shared this trend with the members, and my apologies, because I didn't know that the Warriors were gonna go out there and score 10 points in the first quarter. But as I mentioned, the trend was actually 2-0. I didn't play the other 2, but the trend was 2-0 before. The trend was 2-0 yesterday in the other games that it was active on. So it was active on 3 games yesterday, and it was. Yeah, it was active yesterday. Let's see, the Raptors and the Lakers, it was active on, and the Timberwolves and the Celtics was yesterday. So I thought it was 2. Maybe it was just 1. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was active. It was active on the Celtics and the Wizards last night as well. That's what it was. So 2-0 yesterday, and it's active on this game here against the Pistons and the Trailblazers as well. And the system just, to me, it just kind of makes sense, which is why I typed it in. So here we have, and I'll give you guys the system. So it's a home team playing a non-conference opponent, and they're playing on the front end of a back-to-back, and the next opponent is a conference opponent. And it's before the All-Star break, which is where we typically see a little bit less defense. So since COVID, we eliminate all the years since COVID. This trend is actually 62%, 91 and 56 to the over. This season is 7-4, which is 64% as well. And it's active in this game. I kind of think about these games, right? Like Portland, we know doesn't play a lot of defense on the road. Offensively, they can score the basketball. Detroit, I do expect to be able to score the basketball in this spot as well. I expect Cade to be able to bounce back in this spot after having a pretty poor game against the Milwaukee Bucks in the last game. I like Cade over his points at 27.5. Portland's just not playing a lot of defense. I do think Portland will be able to keep up and score. They push the pace. It's one of the fastest paced teams in the NBA. We saw that in the last game against Cleveland as well. So I like points in this game. If I'm betting over. The total is 230. Looks like the best number you can find is a 230. Let's see. You can find a 235. It's 235 on Caesars right now, and that's what I like in this game. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Appreciate you, Rick. Just hit the like. Detroit basketball. Austin Reeves cashed his points, rebounds, assists last night, taking another shot on Reeves again tonight. No doubt, dude says. Okay. K been going under badly lately. Yeah, it makes sense. You're gonna run into a wall at a certain point in the season, right? Like, you're not gonna keep cashing the same thing over and over again. If he keeps playing better, the book's gonna keep putting the line higher and higher. Then he eventually gonna have a night. He's gonna have a bad night. He eventually gonna be in the third game and 4 night spots. He eventually gonna be against a team that's really good against the pick and roll ball handler. He eventually gonna have a 5th game and 7 night. So yeah, he's eventually gonna have to, be in a bad travel situation. Like, it kind of makes sense in my opinion. Like, you're not gonna keep cashing the same thing over and over again. The book's not gonna make it free. Biop says, I like the Blazers. 7 too many points here. Yeah, absolutely, Los. Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Real Talk says, didn't Boston send Luka home in the finals when he was playing in Dallas? He absolutely did. Absolutely did. Jared says, so today, the right side of Cade. Today, the right day for Cade. Yeah, I would agree. Today is the right day for Cade, in my opinion, Jared. That's what I would play Cade. I put it, it's already in the recap. I like Cade over his points. He got a pretty good matchup when I was looking into it. I didn't lock it in officially yet, but if I'm playing on Cade today, I'm taking him over his points prop today. Nice little bounce back spot. Super high usage, in my opinion. Back-to-back games where he had 17 and 18 against Atlanta and Milwaukee. And now he gets a defense that is one of the bottom 5 worst against the pick and roll ball handler. Good luck. Good luck to Detroit. Team that's not playing a lot of defense anyway, and they foul a lot. K gets 5th of his points from the free throw line, and Portland fouls at the 3rd highest rate. They also give up a ton of points in transition. Second most points in transition. K gets about a 4th of his points in transition as well. K got an elite matchup today. He really, really does. So I like Cade over his points today. Like Cade over his points a lot. I probably will be putting that in. If Klingon doesn't play, I think looking at Duran over his boards is also a really good play today as well. We'll see what happens with Klingon, but they definitely need him out there to be able to keep Jalen Duran off the boards as well. Boards listed at 11.5, back-to-back unders for him as well. He gets a pretty good matchup also. All right, so those are my thoughts on this game. I'm not going through every single game either. 76ers and the Bucks is an interesting one. So JaXon just gave you guys a look on the under. JaXon gave you guys a look on the under, which I guess I would agree with that. I think that's a pretty solid look. I actually had a system that was active on this game as well. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. Yeah. So system on this game actually lands. Matter of fact, let's go through the game. So Philly, of course, can submit their injury report late. Joel Embiid did play yesterday, so we do expect him to be out today. Paul George did not play yesterday. He's listed as out. So remember, I just said this, right? Paul George is listed as out. Now, can he be upgraded to questionable? Yes, he absolutely can, especially after not playing last night. Who knows if Paul George is going to play? Like, don't get me started with the injury report. We know Kelly Oubre and Trent Watford will probably continue to be out because I think their injuries are more long term. And then on the Bucks side of things, it's first full game without Giannis, but they do have Taurean Prince. And I think you get a really good effort from the Bucks in this game. I think that's the reason why Philly opened as a 1.5 point favorite. And then, now the lines come down. I think they're just 1 point favorites. If I want the Bucks, I do want them as a dog in this game. I think Philly team total under is a really good look. I think Milwaukee will turn up in this spot. You can still get some 1.5s with the Bucks. I think they did the right side, man. I really, really do. For Philly, it's second leg of a back-to-back, third and fourth and sixth. For Milwaukee, first leg of back-to-back. This is in-season revenge. They have the rest advantage. They're coming off the win as a dog as well against Detroit. And if I want the Bucks, I typically want them at the crib. Like I don't want the Bucks without Giannis on the road. So if they're getting 2 points at the crib, I do think that they're the right side. Also, we got to think like Philly played. Like I said, they won't have Embiid, which is in my opinion going to be a lot of rim protection. Ryan Rollins, Kevin Porter, Kuzma, AJ Green, Miles Turner. I think they got enough to win this game. They'll start to regress without Giannis over the next couple of weeks without him playing. But I do think that this is a nice spot in the first game without Giannis. Them being at the crib with the rest advantage and season revenge. I like the Milwaukee Bucks in this spot. Plus the 1.5 is something that you can still get. I think they can win the game outright. That's my thought process on this one. Let's see. Cade over his points and assists. Love Duran over his points, Stu says. Cade triple-double incoming. Take Paul under if it's available. Chris, they already said PG in that in. That's why he said yesterday and Embiid out. Okay, I didn't see that, Greg, but that's really good information to know. But Paul George get officially rules in, then you may be able to get a better live. I don't even know how much Paul George moving numbers these days. Adam says favorite spot on the board, Philly money line. So I guess you can cash and I can cash, but I need the Bucks plus 1.5. I haven't played it yet, but that's what I'm liking in this one. Smoke says Miles Turner over his 3-point prop. PG learned from the best hour still. Oh, Kawhi sitting on the second leg of back-to-backs. Justin says he'll go 76ers on the money line as well. They disagreeing with me. Says 76ers 4-0 ATS on the second leg of back-to-backs. Very, very dramatic win last night, man. Like teams, I'm always in a mindset that you want to fade teams when they're coming off, playing on the second leg of back-to-back and they're coming off these, very miraculous wins. I actually think Maxey got the ball last night. For people who watched the game against the Sixers, he did get the ball against D'Anthony Milton, but he also got fouled. There was a lot of body. There was a lot of body last night, but they gave him the block and they, won the game by 1. But you had to exert a lot of energy in that game, and you also struggled against the Warriors on the second, at home after the first quarter. 99 points. I don't think I'll cut it, but we're not here to go back and forth. I know everybody in the chat like the Sixers. I would be on the Bucks in this spot. Let's see. The PG for all off is historical. Bobby Portis over his 13.5 points from Mr. 2. I was thinking the same thing, Malik, but I mean PG, he's not bad. He's not bad, man. VJ, you got to box VJ out. You definitely got to box him out. If Philly lost last night, I might like him a little bit more tonight, but not for me. Never could go wrong with Maxey over his points though. Ryan Rollins, I didn't look into his numbers, but he's somebody that automatically just jumped off the page to me. I'm like, okay, they like who the offense gonna run through? Ryan been hooping, man. Ryan has been hooping. All right, let's get to the next one. I think it's the last one that I actually made graphics for, which is the Denver Nuggets and the Atlanta Hawks. So this is another game where the injury report stinks, right? So on the Denver side of things, it looks like, just get to the top real quick. I wrote in my notes yesterday that Porzingis and Jalen Johnson were both listed as questionable. Trae Young, of course, continues to be out. And then on the Denver side of things, no Aaron Gordon, no Julian Stroughton, no Christian Braun. And Spencer Jones is also listed as questionables. And he's been starting for Denver as well. So we'll see what happens with him. So Denver, this is the end of a 3-game road trip for them. They, got a nice bounce back win against the Indiana Pacers in that last game. Before that, I'm sorry, hold on. Before that, who did Denver lose to before that? They lost at home before that, right? So is this the end of a 3-game road trip? That's what I wrote in my notes. I could be wrong though. Let me just double check real quick. Denver. I typically can remember most spots, as you guys probably can recall. Yeah, so this is the second game. I'm sorry. Second game of a 4-game road trip. So I wrote that down wrong yesterday. So this is the second game. They bounced back and beat the Pacers after losing to the Mavs at home. They've been alternating wins and losses. Won and covered against Indiana, lost and didn't cover against the Dallas Mavericks, won and covered against the Phoenix Suns, lost and didn't cover against the San Antonio Spurs, won and covered against the Memphis Grizzlies, lost and didn't cover against the Sacramento Kings. So that's been 6 straight games. Regardless, all 6 of those games, though, have gone over the total, and that's what I like in this one. All 6 have gone over the total. I think Atlanta bounces back. I just need Jalen Johnson to get in, and this total will go up when Jalen Johnson is rolled in. I'm not sure Porzingis is going to play. He's been dealing with some kind of illness for the last week, it feels like. He's missed like at least 3 straight games. Atlanta coming off a really bad loss against the Clippers the other day. This is the first leg of a back-to-back. They don't play a lot of defense in the first place, in my opinion, especially against high-tempo pace teams like the Denver Nuggets. JaXon already told you guys to like the over because Denver's offense is so efficient. But they got a game. The Atlanta Hawks got a game in DC tomorrow, so it's not like it's a terrible look ahead spot. But it is fourth game in 6 nights for Atlanta as well. So I think that'll hit their defense a little bit more than their offense. And you just got to keep up with Denver. That's what it really comes down to. Like I talked about this in the last time I handicapped Denver when they were playing against Indiana. I just didn't play the over because Jamal Murray was listed as questionable, and he goes out and dropped 52. But Denver games have landed 240 or higher in 7 of the last 8 of the last 10. Like they're 8-2 to the over in their last 10 games. The bookmakers just can't set the total high enough. And that trend that I gave you guys earlier, where it's a home team that's playing against a non-conference opponent on the first leg of a back-to-back with a conference opponent tomorrow before the All-Star break since COVID, is applicable in this game as well. So I do like over in this spot. I like over in this game between the Denver Nuggets and Atlanta Hawks. I'm not going through every single game either. Like a couple of these games I don't really got anything on. A couple of these games I want to take my time and think about a little bit more. So I will bow out gracefully right here. If y'all got like games that y'all want me to talk about, just put them in the chat and we can talk about them. I'll give you guys my thought process real quick, but it's a ton of games. Like it's so much to look into today. I will give you guys one more look that I haven't played yet, but I probably need to get to because it is starting to get a little juiced. But before I do that, let me just you can get 237.5 right now. And the books are anticipating that Jalen Johnson is going to come back, because if they weren't, this total wouldn't be going from 235.5 up to 238. It looks like it's consensus. So books are anticipating Jalen Johnson to be back. Let's see what y'all got for me. Before we go here, let's go. Let's go here. I don't want to talk about all the games. Let's see. Did y'all write anything down? Let's see. What up, Peasy? Appreciate you for tapping in. That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, when you blow a 30-point lead, dude, and then you go down, because the Warriors actually took the lead, then you really got to fight back. You really, really got to fight back there. And they soft in the middle, too. They real soft. The Philadelphia 76 is soft in the middle. Because Drummond can't stop anybody. Absolutely no. It's insane. You go from questionable to I've never seen anybody go from questionable to drop 52. Denver team total over. I can see that, Anthony. I like full over because I think Atlanta will be able to score as well. Remember, the thing with Atlanta, right, is you always take Atlanta. You want Atlanta when they're getting points. You don't want Atlanta when they're laying points, which is why this line opened with Denver laying 8.5 and it's down to 6.5, especially with how sporadic Denver has been. I just told you guys they won, cover, lost, didn't cover, won, cover, lost, didn't cover. So to think that Denver is going to come in here and, win this game by margin, I wouldn't agree with it. And I think the bookmakers understand that as well, which is why, the line has come down. Denver has won 5 straight games against the Atlanta Hawks. They've covered 5 as well. All 5 have gone over the total. If we look back to last season, these were pretty high totals as well. The last 2 games that they played was 241.5 and 246.5. They both went over the number as well. Freestyle says, I do like Keita under his 10.5 points against the Lakers. Okay. Alexander Walker over his points in +6 with the Hawks. A little scary because Denver has been playing well on the road. They have been playing better on the road than at home. But they've been scoring on the road and at home as well. Matter of fact, let's just see real quick. Denver on the road this season. Let's just look at them. They're 14-7 to the over, which is 66%. On the road, they're 7-4 to the over, 64%. Games are averaging 239 points this season. Magic and Heat over. You need to know who's going to play. You need to know who's going to play. I wrote the injury report down yesterday. Let's see. Magic and so Norman Powell's questionable. I want Norman Powell in if I want over. The Heat just lost the game to the Dallas Mavericks. Offense kind of ran out of gas in that one. And Tyler Hero's listed as questionable. And then the other thing is, if Paolo comes back, how much does she, mess up the offense for the Magic? And the Magic are a team that I'm not betting Magic games right now. Like they're too sporadic for me, man. Like you can't cover against Chicago, you can't cover against San Antonio, the spot that you were just in. Not for my money. The total is going up though, so I guess Norman Powell is going to play. We shall see. Miami does have in-season revenge. They're coming off a loss as a favorite, first leg of a back-to-back for them. Orlando coming off a loss as a favorite to San Antonio, third straight home game for them. The last time that they played, it did reach 246. That was, I think, the season opener. Orlando won 125 to 121 at the beginning of the season. Orlando was actually getting, we're laying 8.5 points. So a little bit of respect to Miami. Miami's been playing a lot better than we thought, a lot faster than we thought as well. Let's see. Jalen Suggs over 4 boards. She says, Cavs, Spurs, thoughts. So opened at 6 for Cleveland. The lines come all the way down to 4. Total 238 is kind of where it stayed at. I'll tell you guys why I even get into my notes. I don't have a good read on Cleveland. Cleveland, if the script is in, and I said this, like a couple weeks ago, they don't really care too much about they don't care too much about winning. They definitely don't care too much about defense, and their totals just continue to be too high. Like their offense is great, but their totals are always so high. So what's half of 238? 119? Yeah, 119, and then you add 2. So 121, they need to get to 120, probably 121 and a half is their team total. So you need to get them to get to 122. Kind of feel like the Spurs defense is better than that. Especially, I know Garland is listed as out as well. I think I saw Garland wasn't going to play in this game. Let's see. What's the team total? Cleveland team total, 121 and a half. They have not been getting to that number. So that I automatically think about that. Like, I don't know. San Antonio's not in the greatest spot either, though. 3rd and 4, 4th and 6 coming off the loss. Coming off the win as a dog against Orlando. They did get a day rest. Cleveland first leg of back-to-back 4th and 6th nights. They lost to Portland outright as a 10-point favorite in their last game. So if we go to, let me just do this real quick. All right, I'll show you guys. I talk about this all the time, but let me show you guys. I'm pretty sure I've shown this before on the show as well. So if I go to Moneyballer and I look at, let's just go to today's date. If I look at this game, San Antonio, Cleveland, if I look at the game, you can see the situational stuff right here. The Cavs play 4th and 6th nights and first leg of back-to-back, which means that tomorrow's a 5th game and 7 night spots. If you guys are not aware, that's what that math equals. They got the Warriors tomorrow. You can see that. Cavs got the Warriors tomorrow. Spurs are off after this game. They don't play again until they play the Pelicans, so not a look-ahead spot at all. But if we come down here, we look at the team comparison numbers, and we look at Cleveland. Look at the team total, right? First half, there's 15, 7, and 1 to the under. As a home favorite, they're 10 and 2 to the first half under. It is not 9 and 3 to the full game under on their team total. Like they're just not scoring as many points as the books anticipate them to score. They do have the 9th best offensive rating, but if we think about the Cleveland Cavaliers, this was the best offensive team in the NBA last season. Remember, they were getting 130 against everybody. So, like I said, I think Garland is out, or at least I thought I saw Garland out. Let me just double check that. Maybe Garland not out. Yeah, Garland is out. Garland is out. Jared Allen is out. I'm not laying points with them. I'm also not expecting their offense to look as fluent. Larry Nance Jr. is out. Max Strus continues to be out. Like they I don't know. I don't like Luke Cornett. If Luke Cornett's not in, then you don't got Luke Cornett and Victor Wembanyama. So that offsets it a lot for me. That's my thought process. I would need at least some kind of form of rim protection. Donovan Mitchell, take him over his points. He cares about scoring in basketball. He don't really care about defense right now, but he definitely cares about scoring. Every game I see, he's shooting 15 3-pointers. So I guess that's my thought there. Let's see. What else y'all got in the chat real quick? I'll give you guys some more thoughts. Let's see. He knows ball says, I like Heat plus 5.5 and first quarter money line. Miami first quarter has been a little wagging. Yeah, they've been good. Malik says, you break down Suns and Rockets. Let's talk Suns and Rockets real quick. So, injury report wise, I know that I did see that Grayson Allen is off the injury report. He's listed. He's not on the injury report at all. So you expect to get Grayson Allen back in this spot. I don't think he played in the last game. Let me just double check, make sure I didn't see anything else. I think Houston should be pretty healthy. as well. Let's see. All right, so no Livers, no Booker, of course, no Jalen Green. You got Dylan Brooks going back to play against his old team. Tari Eason, Fred VanVleet, and Dorian Finney-Smith are out. So on the Phoenix side of things, they have a significant rest advantage in this spot. I think this is one of the first times all season they've had 3 days of rest. Remember, they haven't played since they beat the Lakers as a dog. And that was like, I feel like that was like over the weekend. Like it's been a while since they played the Lakers. That was like really, really earlier this week. And then they're coming off that win as a dog against the Lakers. They do have double-digit in-season revenge. Remember, these two teams just played in Phoenix. That was a game, I think, that before Devin Booker got hurt. And Houston went in there without Kevin Durant and mollywopped the Phoenix Suns. I think they held them to like 94 points. Now for Houston, this is a fourth game in 6-night spot, but they've been playing against some super soft cupcake opponents. Like you think about Houston last 4 games. Remember they had the back-to-back against Utah in Utah. They won the first one, lost the second one outright. Then they came home. They had a day's rest, came home, played against the Sacramento Kings. Like they've been chilling. Like Houston hasn't been tested in quite a while. Still blew out the Sacramento Kings. This is the first leg of a back-to-back. They got a game that's in Dallas tomorrow. I'm not sure how much they really care about that game. I know it's the in-state Texas rivalry stuff, and it's fourth game in 6 nights, but it's been against super soft cupcake opponents, in my opinion. I kind of feel like this is a buy low spot for Phoenix. The line has come all the way down from 14 to 11. I just feel like Phoenix is really going to struggle to score the basketball. This isn't the Laker defense. This isn't the soft Laker defense. I think Phoenix offense comes down to earth. I like Colin Gillespie a lot. I think that, Dylan Brooks has really, really worked on his offensive game. He's taken himself from a 3-and-D player to, actually just a defensive player to, somebody that can mix it up, get into the mid-range. He got an ugly fadeaway, but it goes in. He's getting to a spot, knocking down shots. He'll be motivated for this game. I just think that 11 is a lot to lay. My guy Jay Brady said that's a lot of lumber to lay. If you're laying the points, which I think the line coming down from 14.5 to 11 is probably right. The total though, that's what's intriguing because 222 that's a little low. That's a little low. When I think about Houston and the way that they've been able to score the basketball, I probably just play the over. I think Phoenix should be able to score. I think the game will be played fast, and it might just be a pace thing. I feel like both of these teams will be able to, get up and over this super low number of 222 in today's NBA. So you can get a 221.5. If I'm playing, I guess that's probably the way I'm playing. Houston team total is going to be not even Houston. Phoenix team total, I think, is on a super lower end of things. But they did, like I said, they did just struggle. They didn't even get to 100 last time they played Houston. But that was without Kevin Durant. So KD being back, paces up a little bit. Phoenix team total is 104.5. That number seems a little bit too low. Houston's great defensively. 105 that's a low number, man. That's a super low number. So probably a look towards the over or look towards Phoenix team total over. But I don't think I'm gonna be able to get there. So that's my thought. On that game, Malik. Clippers not touching them against Memphis. Not touching them against Memphis. Terrible spot for Memphis, though. This is a terrible spot for Memphis. I wrote it in my notes yesterday. They do have Memphis got the rest advantage, but it's their first game back home off a 4-game road trip. The Clippers, we don't know which direction they go in next, right? Like they fire Chris Paul, send him home. Beat Atlanta. We got to remember, Atlanta was shorthanded. They didn't have Porzingis. They didn't have, Jalen Johnson. Not that Memphis has been cooking because they haven't. Zach Edey over his board? I don't know. Like I'm not betting. I'm not really interested in Clippers games right now. I'm also really not interested in Memphis games either. So don't like the spot for Memphis. Clippers early maybe. I feel like the Clippers have been. Matter of fact, let's pull this up real quick because then I'm thinking it and I'm talking about it out loud. I feel like if you want the Clippers, you typically want them early. I feel like they're a team that just runs out of gas as the game goes on. Kind of like the Pelicans. If you guys have been watching the Pelicans, they get to the fourth quarter against Minnesota, back-to-back games, and can't score the ball, can't stop turning it over. And, that's why Minnesota's been able to pull away, even though they still didn't cover the spread. So if we go back to Moneyball just really quickly, let's just look at the Clippers real quick. So Clippers, you can see in-season revenge. They did just lose. This was last week, too. These two teams just played. I think that was last week. Grizzlies got the rest advantage. You can see coming off win as a dog, blah, 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 blah. We look at team comparison. We go down to this is what I want to see. I want to see ATS record in the first half. So boom, this is what I was thinking about, right? Without even looking at it, because I hadn't looked at this. But the Clippers first half against the number 14-8. 14-8 in the first half against the numbers. The Grizzlies typically start slow, 9-13. So they're not a good first half team. Clippers are a good first half team. Clippers laying points on the road, 2-1 as a road favorite in the first half. On the first leg of a back-to-back, 3-1 in the first half on the road. So the trends, and this is the way I could kind of think about the Clippers. Because you see full game, they get smoked. So they're probably one of the worst second half teams in the NBA, 6-16. So you are playing great early, and then you get smoked late, right? And I'm pretty sure that if we look at their most recent games, so if we just go last 10, it probably gets even stronger. Nah, just 6-4 in the first half. Last 5 games, 4-1 in the first half. So Clippers have been good early. Grizzlies have not been good early. 1-4 in the first half. So maybe Clippers early in this spot. Yeah, Clippers early, especially with the Grizzlies coming back home off the road trip. I think that would be the way that I would probably want to play today's game if I'm playing that. Clippers first half would be my thought process. Man, I am not talking about Ant, man. I take him. He want to shoot the ball 6 times. Dallas has been playing really good, real talk. They have been playing really good. How many points are they getting today? They're getting 15. Yeah. You want to wait though, real talk. In my opinion, you want to wait because like you kind of need all hands on deck when you're playing against OKC, specifically if it's in OKC. Like that's how I kind of think about the game. I know PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford are listed as questionable. Lively continues to be out. OKC will be without Caruso and Dort and Isaiah Hartenstein. And Dallas has been really good. They got in-season revenge. It is the first leg of a back-to-back. They're coming off that win against Miami as a dog at the crib. They've won 3 in a row. They've covered 5 in a row. They're starting to get a little bit healthier. You worry about Anthony Davis potentially leaving in the first quarter with some kind of lower leg injury or something, or getting poked in his eye through the goggles or something crazy with Anthony Davis. But I like what I'm seeing out of Nembhard. Max Christie's a 3-and-D player as well. Cooper Flag gonna have his hands full because they don't give up a lot of points. In my opinion, the way Cooper Flag likes to score the basketball. So I think that could be, treacherous. But yeah, Dallas gonna fight. They definitely gonna fight. I would be looking at them plus the points. It's just I want PJ Washington in and Daniel Gafford in. OKC's great, but I mean, they really need to win by 16 points at home. I know they thrash everybody at home, maybe even a Dallas team total up and over, just because it'd be a super low line. And I know how good OKC is at the crib defensively. But yeah, I like Dallas. Real talk. I do. Free Sauce says I also like Zach Edey rebounds. Again, you know the vibes. Yeah, he been cashing you out. Free Sauce playing for your gym membership probably for the whole year already. 77 figures says Hawks plus the points. Let's see. Pacers Bulls thoughts. So Pacers Bulls thoughts, J Hank, is Chicago. I should just went through all the games, huh? All right, so let's go through this one. Pacers and Bulls. Where are my notes for Chicago? I know what I like though. It's a prop. So injury report. Let me just double check mine compared to what I saw. All right, so yeah, I'm right. All right, so Ayo Dosunmu was questionable. Trey Jones is doubtful. Isaac Okoro is doubtful. Kobe White is questionable. Y'all see why I don't talk about the game? Like, what? That's like 3/4 of your rotation right there. On the Pacers side of things, they will be pretty healthy. They're coming off back-to-back losses. First real game after 4 straight home games for them. They got smoked by Cleveland. Then they got smoked by Denver. They caught both of those teams in really bad spots. But on the Chicago side of things, second straight home game, they also should be motivated in this game. This team has been pitiful. Like, so they just lost to the Brooklyn Nets. Like, you're out here losing to the Brooklyn Nets. Now you're 9-12. They won just 3 of their last 7 games. They've covered just 2 of their last 10 games. And they are laying points. 5.5 down to 4.5. Not for my money, man. Not for my money. I can't do it. Interestingly enough, Chicago games have actually started to go under. I think it's because they're missing a little bit of their offense as well. Now, the Pacers don't play any defense. They have been playing a little bit better defense, but they don't play any defense against really good defensive teams. Cleveland and Denver came in there, absolutely mopped them up. In Chicago, when they're playing good and they're supposed to win, they are supposed to win because of their offense, not because of their defense. So I know that the total is dropping. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I know 237 and a half, 238 is a lot of points, but on a Friday night, it's a lot of other things I'd rather do with my time than to be sweating the under between the Indiana Pacers and the Chicago Bulls. If I'm playing a game, though, just real, like I don't want the side at all. I don't really want the total either. I need to see who's going to play for Chicago. But regardless of who plays for Chicago, Siakam over his rebounds. 6.5 is the number. It is a little bit juice now. I think I saw it at like minus 130. But if we go over to, I was looking at this on Outlier this morning. Just share this with you guys. So, and then I'm getting off here. We'll do a quick recap and I'm getting off here. Like I said, I know I didn't go through all the games. I got notes on all of them, but NBA is tough to bet, man. It's so tough to bet. Let's just go to Siakam and minimize myself. All right, so Siakam over his rebounds. So 6.5 is the line. You see I think it's minus 135. You can see it right here. So terrible rebounding game against the Denver Nuggets. But you can see before that, 11, 9, and 7. Head-to-head wise this season, played against them one time, grabbed 9 boards in this spot. And you just always pick on the Chicago Bulls. This is a terrible rebounding team. You can see right here, they give up the 6th most rebounds to the power forward position, 13th to the center position, 29th. Siakam, if they play small ball, will be out there to clean up on the board. So I like Siakam over his boards in this spot. I like the spot for him here in today's game. And I think I was looking a little bit deeper as well. I can't remember exactly what I was looking at. It was I like to go in and like look at how many rebounds, like potential rebounds he averages, which I think he averages right at 11 rebound chances per game. That's what I meant to say, rebound chances. So he averages right at 11 per game. In games where he's had 11 plus rebound chances, he's averaged 8.3. So if we think that he's going to get to his actual number today, then this is a really good spot. And if you add in that, the opponent is a bottom, half of the league rebounding team, then he averages 9.3 rebounds. So he should be able to go over the 7 pretty easily in this spot. He's 5 of 7 this season to the over when he gets at least 11 rebound chances against teams that are bottom half of the league in rebounds allowed. So that's the way I kind of like handicap player props, specifically Pascal Siakam in this spot. I like him over 6.5 boards, and that's, probably why it's juiced to the over. But that would be my thought process in that game. Let's see. Had Raptors last night. That sucks, Pete. Spurs money line, Fox over his points. Can't trust his Cavs. I can understand that. Pacers on the money line. I can understand that. Spurs been playing hard, either money line or plus the points. Spurs, Grizzlies, Pacers, all live underdogs today. Toronto on the bounce back spot. Hornets are trash, especially LaMelo. Yeah, injury report, double in my opinion. So let's see real quick. You got to look at the injury report. Can you give me 1 second? Give me 1 second, okay? I'm finishing up. Okay, give me 1 second, okay? All right. So let's see. Cleveland, Charlotte. All right, so Kalkbrenner is listed as questionable. Brandon Miller is questionable. LaMelo Ball is probable. Of course, Toronto can submit their injury report late. Yesterday they were without what's his name? What's the center name? Jakob Poeltl. So I told you guys yesterday, without Jakob Poeltl, I don't trust that defense. Quickly's not the best defender. Then you lack rim protection. So it's hard. But Charlotte is trash. They're absolutely trash. They had a great spot against the Knicks on the second leg of a back-to-back. They got absolutely smoked. Since their third straight road game, they've lost back-to-back to the Nets and to the Knicks. Didn't cover in either one of those spots. Toronto, in my opinion, should be able to score in this game. What's the total? 233.5 down to 229. We'll see if everybody plays. If everybody plays, I think Toronto bounces back in a big way offensively. I don't know if I'm laying this many points with them because they just haven't been right since RJ kind of come back down to earth since RJ hasn't played. But I do think that they specifically should be able to score the basketball in this spot. Charlotte just not it for me, man. But here's the kicker, and the reason why I can't play the Raptors. It's fifth game in 7 nights. Not a spot that I want to be back in. This the other team is playing fifth game in 7 nights tonight, but it is their third straight home game, and they're coming off a loss. So we'll see. Not a game that I'm probably going to be interested in. He says Heat as the dogs are cash. 77 figures says lines be so big. We can hardly ever talk about good teams like the Rockets and OKC. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's an absolute fact. One thing I was thinking about, the Rockets beating the Sacramento Kings in that last game, I was thinking, like, I got to start laying some of these big numbers. Like, I know that the Knicks are laying 15 today. It wouldn't surprise me if Utah ruled somebody out on the second leg of a back-to-back. They got their win for, the week or next 2 weeks. They're not trying to win a lot of games. That was a tankathon game last night. They were losing at the end of the first quarter and the first half. They had to, have a great the fourth quarter to even win and cover that game last night against Brooklyn. But when Brooklyn ruled out Michael Porter Jr., I said, oh, yeah, Utah is going to win this game. But, yeah, like the Knicks should comfortably beat the Utah Jazz. I'm not laying 15. That's what I say right now. And then I wake up tomorrow and it's like, 126 to 104. And I'm like, damn, I should have just laid the 15 with the Knicks last night. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. These spreads are crazy. I did talk about that. So I apologize. I probably should have just went through every single game because I still ended up pretty much going through every single game. I think we touched on every single game, even though I wasn't planning on doing that. Just trying to help you guys out as much as I possibly can, give you guys my notes. We did talk about every single game, though. Any thoughts on Knicks spread? Just talked about that. TC. I think the Jazz we'll see if the Jazz rule anybody out. I don't know. Knicks will play with their food a little bit. They should be able to score the basketball at will. We know that the Utah Jazz are like the second worst defensive rated team on the road in the NBA, which is why that Knicks team total is what is it? New York is what's the Knicks team total today? 127. 127 and a half is crazy. Jazz may not get to 112, 113. I think that could be an interesting look. I know the Knicks not going to come in here and take this game serious. But maybe that's a look. Utah to stay under their team total. I don't know what to do with that game, TC Bets. Books kind of priced me out. Adam likes the Siakam look as well. I can't get through all the comments, but I do appreciate you guys for just keeping the conversation going. Malik says, no way Bulls favored at the crib. He says, I can't be reading that line, right? I would say Bulls beat the teams they shouldn't and lose against the teams that they should beat. And I agree with that as well. New York Knicks have a bottom feeder at home. Is that a blowout, you think? I mean, by the numbers, yes, Brian. Like, if we look at the Knicks, we know that the Knicks are, 10-1 against the spread at the crib? Like, if you want the Knicks, you typically want them at home. At the crib this season, they are 11-1 straight up, 11-1 against the spread. So if they win at home, they cover at home. The only game that they lost was the game I was on them against the Magic. Remember, they were laying 4 points in that game and got smoked in that game. But yeah, they've won and covered every single spread outside of that. They average 123 points. They give up 109. More recently, the Hornets got to 104. The Raptors got to 94. The Bucks got to 109. So 3 straight games where they've held their opponent under their team total. They don't have a game tomorrow. I think the team total for the Jazz under will probably be the best look, just, based on what I saw. The Jazz offense also not great on the road. We got to remember that as well. They are, I think, the second or third worst offensive rated team, 2-7 straight up, 3-6 against the number, average 108 at home. 108 on the road. Their last 3 road games have been pretty good, though. Warriors, they got to 117. Lakers, they got to 126. And then last night against the Nets, of course, they got to 123. So their offense is starting to pick it up a little bit. They are 3-0 to the over in their last 3 games on the road. I don't know. They gave up 140 to the Lakers, 134 against the Warriors. So maybe the Knicks can get to, 128. So I don't know. I guess those would be my thoughts. The total, their team total, the Knicks team total is 129 on Caesars as well. So I don't know, man. Maybe they can get to, whatever they want to get to. It's a big discrepancy between 127.5 and 129.5 when most books got it at 128.5. That's my thought there. Cat dropping 30 again. Free Sauce says Miles Bridges under his threes. Lock it. Okay. Appreciate you, Brian. Appreciate you. He's reminding people to hit the like button. Knicks only missed 1 cover at the crib. That is a fact. We just talked about it. like the Lakers team total over 105.5 something. You got to see who's gonna play. Like, is Luka back? Is LeBron gonna rest? Who knows? Who knows, man? Y'all betting these games, man. Be careful, man. Be cautious. All right, recap. Cunningham, Cade, over the 27.5 points. Siakam, 7 boards. Milwaukee plus the 1.5. Denver, Atlanta over. Utah team total under. That's what I wrote down when I was between last night and this morning when I was going through and looking at these spots today. No official bets yet, though, but injury report can be crazy, man. Best of luck on whatever it is you guys are rocking with today, man. Do me a favor. Check the resources out. They are linked in the description. Outlier, Moneyballer, JaXon, OzJam. Save yourself some coin by using the links in the description to sign up. And yeah, that'll be it, man. Best of luck on your action for today, man. Enjoy your Friday. If you're on the East Coast, enjoy some of the snow. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I'm out.